Alderwoman from the 1st.
Since we already passed the resolution, the next resolution is 250, and I ask that the clerk please read Resolution 250, please.
Resolution 250, acknowledging Alderwoman Dwinderline Evans' service at the Board of Aldermen. Whereas Alderwoman Dwinderline Evans is leaving the Board of Aldermen after 3 years of service as the 4th Ward Alderwoman for the City of St. Louis Board of Aldermen. In those 3 years, Alderwoman Evans has served the 4th Ward in the City of St. Louis with honor and distinction, serving on several powerful committees and introducing and passing several significant pieces of legislation that help better the Ville and the Greater Ville neighborhood, along with the neighborhoods that she so dearly loved to serve. Whereas Alderwoman Evans has lived in the Greater Ville neighborhood since 1972, raising her family there. She was elected to the Board of Aldermen in 2020 as the 4th Ward Alderwoman, a ward that has neighborhoods such as the Ville, which are the backbone in the history of black culture. The 4th Ward has such historic monuments as Sumner High School, Homer G. Phillips Hospital, which is now a senior citizens apartment residence, the Annie Malone Children's Center, and the well-known restaurant Sarah Lou's. In her role as Alderwoman of the 4th Ward, she brought many years of experience in working with people and a diverse working background, which included teaching for 34 years. And whereas Alderwoman Evans was well known in the neighborhood she represented for creating and contributing to the 4th Ward newsletter pertaining to Citizen Service Bureau and Neighborhood Watch, and for having 4th Ward meetings inviting speakers from across the city to inform her constituents. She also helped create several block units in the 4th Ward. And whereas before becoming the 4th Ward Alderwoman in 2020, she was the 4th Ward Committee Woman serving from 2016 until her election as the 4th Ward Alderwoman in 2020. And whereas now that Alderwoman Evans will be leaving the Board of Aldermen, she will have more free time on her hands to spend with her family, which includes one beloved sister, 2 brothers, along with her beloved daughter. Alderwoman Evans will have time to indulge in some of her favorite activities, which include traveling, roller skating, swimming, and exercising. She will continue to be involved in many North St. Louis and St. Louis organization groups and committees she is so actively involved in. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that the members of the Board of Aldermen join the sponsor of this resolution to extend our best wishes to the 4th Ward Alderwoman, Dwinderline Evans, as she exits the Board of Aldermen and begin a new saga in her life. We thank her for her service to the Board of Aldermen and the City of St. Louis, and wish to express to her and her family we greatly appreciate and respect Alderwoman Evans. Be it further resolved that the clerk of this honorable Board of Aldermen is instructed to prepare a properly inscribed copy of this resolution to be presented to the 4th Ward Alderwoman, Dwinderline Evans, introduced this 17th day of April by the Honorable Sharon Tyus, Esquire, Alderwoman of the 1st Ward.
Alderwoman from the 1st, you're recognized.
Sorry, Madam President, members of the board. I'd also like to have Resolution 250 passed and would request that it be passed in bank.
It's been moved by the Alderwoman from the 1st, seconded by the Alderwoman from the 14th, that we pass Resolution 250 in bank. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Alderwoman from the 1st, you may proceed.
Madam President, I will give the Alderwoman from the 4th the first chance to speak, and then I will address how I am dearly going to miss her, but not really, because we're going to be working together. Alderwoman from the 4th.
I thought I was through, but I wasn't. Well, it's a happy time and a sad time. I'm happy that I'll get a chance to do a little bit of traveling and visit relatives from the West Coast to the East Coast, and just enjoy my life in retirement. I've been this road before. I retired from the Normandy School District of 34 years, so I'm retiring again. And this time I am really going to travel and not try to work, because every time I say I'm retired, I find something else to do other than traveling, visiting relatives, and just doing things that I want to do. But this stage, this page, this chapter of my life, I'm going to do what I want to do. And that is, if I want to sleep late, I can do that. Turn my phone off and not worry about missing important calls. And I'm happy and I'm sad, but mostly happy. Okay, so that's it. I just am going to do me now. And I wish, well, I know I will be seeing you guys out and about because I can't just close it. I'll see you at some of these meetings, and I can't wait to start doing me. Thank you. Love you guys, all of you.
Any further discussion?
One last thing. When I attended my 4th Ward meetings, people knew me by my phrase, I do things decent and in order. And I've always done that as a member of the Board of Aldermen, doing things decent and in order. Thank you.
Alderman from the 5th.
Just a brief comment about my dear friend, Alderwoman Evans from the 4th. Like you said, I am also glad that I know you. You have served honorably at the Board of Aldermen, and I hope of the things that you're going to do for you will include continuation of our periodic get-togethers. And with that, why not this coming Friday?
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Alderman from the 9th.
Thank you, Madam President. I just would be remiss without saying that when I first got down here to the board, sitting right here at this desk, right in front of me was the legend Sam Moore. And I just wanted to mention briefly that, in the time that I was able to work with Alderwoman Evans here, that you really carried that legacy. And I think that anyone in the 4th, and I see it, you got the brick right there, anyone in the 4th knows that, you carved your own path, but you always walked in Sam Moore's, vision for the 4th Ward. So I had the honor of coming and having the bus tour with you of the 4th, and we walked through your streets, we talked about your ward, and you did an amazing job of carrying on that legacy, and and you will continue to have that legacy of putting your own touch on the 4th. So thank you very much for your service.
And ever since then, you have harassed me.
Hey, that's right. Yep. So, but thank you. Thank you very much.
Any further discussion? Alderwoman from the 21st.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd just like to say that Dwin Evans and I keep ending up at the same places. So we were committee women together, and through those experiences, she beat me to the punch talking about her right and in order phrase. And so when I think of her, I definitely always think about that little favorite saying of yours. But it has been a true honor and pleasure to have served with you in all of the capacities. It looks like I might be following you a little bit. I followed you from Central Committee here. And and naturally, one day I will be in a position, hopefully many years from now, but hopefully I'll be able to say I'm ready to just do what I need to do for me. And with that, I wish you Godspeed.
Any further discussion? Alderwoman from the 26th.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. I just would be remiss if I didn't stand up, because I know I've already given my well wishes to everyone. But, this group that's with you, when you talk about power and power being in the room, I wanted to give another opportunity. If you want to, I want you to, Alderwoman Evans, stand up and announce all of these amazing people that have been with you since not just 10 o'clock this morning to congratulate and celebrate with you, but have been with you every step of the road. And if you follow, you know when former Alderman was here, he put a list out, and he told me to put that list on the internet of who to watch out for and who not to mess with in the 4th Ward. And when he sent Dwayne down here afterwards, that was our mayor, right? Our mayor of the North Side. You see, they are still with you, and I think that is a testimony to the way that you have served down here at the Board of Aldermen. So, Alderwoman Evans, I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but I would love for you, before you close out, to introduce your honored guest here today.
Alderwoman from the 19th.
Because I wanted her, that was one of the things I was going to say as well. But I want to say to you, Alderwoman Evans, that first of all, let me thank you for being a great committee woman in the 4th Ward and for being by my friend's side as he was suffering with his health issues. You see, Alderman Moore was one of those guys who, he was a street dude. And I just say it the way it was. You know, he was a licensed carpenter, but he also knew the streets. And you couldn't play with him. He meant business in the 4th Ward, and he took care of business in the 4th Ward. And he drug you right along, and he made sure that you understood, and I thank you for hanging in there with him. You came to this board, and you were smart enough every day to not just go head on into something and didn't know or understand it. You asked many people so that you would have clarity and make the right decisions. And I appreciate that of you. I pray for that for the others who are coming in, because you won't want someone to dictate to you all the time. You will want to make some decisions for yourself. So thank you for your service. And again, I heard we got a date Friday. Thank you.
Alderwoman Marlene Davis, stop right there. When I first became a member of the Board of Aldermen, I told you, you reminded me of my older sister in that you were very knowledgeable, someone that people would come and confide in, and to this day. And I told you, I said, well, you're going to be a member of my family whether you want to or not. And I would try and hang out with her a little bit. We love going to eat. So that was what we did. But also, I just enjoyed the wealth of knowledge when we sat down to eat that you would share. And you were my oldest sister that is no longer with me. And I always will look at you as such. And I just want to thank you for your friendship, your time, and the good places we went to eat. If you want to know where the best places to eat, Marlene Davis, she knows where the eateries are. And I just want to thank you. I love you like a sister.
Any further discussion? Any further discussion? If not, Alderwoman from the 1st, you're recognized on Resolution 254.
I want to just address Alderwoman Evans for a minute, please. I want to say she took my saying about in order, but I want to tell you something else that you don't know about her. She will come any place to help you. We were planting trees in my ward, and I am a big tree person. I probably planted about, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 trees in my ward, and then they had the ash problem, and we had to cut all those trees down, and we're replanting again because I'm going to keep North St. Louis green. But I looked up, and there was Alderwoman Evans. She said, "Oh, I heard you were doing a tree planting," so I came to help. I didn't even have to ask her to. Ollie Stewart, who is one of my political mentors, because I always keep some people older than me, and it's getting harder and harder, but I go to them to check my compass if I'm doing the right thing or if they think I need to be doing something different. Bill Clay is still one of them. People don't know that. He got me into politics, and I still can call him at home because I turned him down. I didn't want to be in politics for so long. But Dwin Evans, I called her because Ollie Stewart has a Bring It Together every year. It's coming up in May. And so I had been to several of the functions, and it's for seniors, and they were standing in line to get fed. And so I came up with the idea we would have celebrity waitresses and waiters. So I called up everybody that I knew and asked them to come be a celebrity. The current mayor came, the new alderman from the 14th came, Alderwoman Evans came. We have a picture with a lot of us in there. And the seniors loved that because they didn't have to stand in line, and we would go and wait on them. But she also brought her beloved sister who's taking pictures now, so she was there also. And I want to thank them for that, because that's very important that we remember that seniors exist and that they don't have the same outlook that we do, and that they are just as important as the new future is your past. You got to do both of them, your future and your past. And Dwin is willing, Alderwoman Evans is willing to do anything to help. That is why when she says she's going to be able to do anything she wants to, that's not quite true, because she's my contact and point and help in the new 12th Ward, and she will be doing a lot of work with making sure that I know what I'm doing in the 4th Ward. I've been exposed to it because I've been a neighbor for all these years. But she has people that she knows personally who will be up and down those streets making some decisions, and I'm just not going to let her slip away, maybe for a vacation here and there to go see her siblings or her daughter, but I'm still going to be calling. And since she knew she could always call on me, I also know I can always call on her. She's a wonderful, kind, endearing person. Sam Moore couldn't have done any better to look at who he wanted to be his replacement. And even before she came here as an alder person, she was a committee person, but she would be in Sam Moore's office, which I now have, and she'd be back there and she'd be working with him. And I think that he was comforted as he transitioned out of this world to another sector, that he had someone as the Alderwoman from the 4th who was willing to step in and openly said, I'm trying to get Alderman Moore's agenda done, and then sat down with us when we decided about the 12th Ward and said, hey, I'm not going to run. You've been here a long time. I appreciate that. It was set up for a lot of us to fight. We didn't have a fight in the 12th Ward, not from any insiders, only from outsiders, which we expelled. So I appreciate that. People who don't live in North St. Louis don't get to tell people what we should do in North St. Louis. And that was very resoundingly said to the people who don't live in North St. Louis and came to try to get, we all held hands and said, no, no, no. You better learn that there's a stew in this city. It is not a little soup, tomato soup. It's a stew. And we got all different kinds of people. And until you make that available, then you don't have the right city. I came down here as the first female attorney, and men said to me, oh, we're not used to that. We're not used to women being able to read. The contracts, well, they got used to it. I want to beg the alderman from the 18th pardon. There have been 2 other doctors before this one that served this board. Also, the longest-serving committee person is my spouse, and that is Sterling Samuel Miller is the longest-serving committee person. So there's a couple of things he said wasn't right. But what we all say that is right is that you will be sorely missed down here. I'm sorry that it had to be that we combined the wards like that. It's still not right to me. I'm not going to miss you at all. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to miss you, because we're going to be working together. You're a wonderful person. I appreciate you, and thank you for your years of service.
Alderwoman from the 4th.
really don't need, oh, okay, I was just going to use my outside voice. I was going to say I really don't need a mic, but the convenience of one is greatly appreciated. I would be remiss if I did not introduce the people that I invited out. I invited family and family friends. And at this time, I would like to introduce my sister, Geraldine Evans. My other sister, my god sister, Brenda Johnson Pruitt. My other sister, Miss Alva Boast, which is one of my constituents in my ward that I happened to meet her through Alderman Sam Moore. So we have something in common. My other sister, Julia Allen. She's my go-to person. She's also my quiet storm. Whenever I needed information or needed some help with something, I would go to her. And she's quiet, but she's powerful. And I give her that acknowledgement. That's why I call her my quiet storm. Also, Mike Burns. Mike Burns, raise your hand. He is doing development in the 4th Ward. He has promised to bring back the old Sarah Lou's, so we're going to hold your feet to the fire for that, Mike, okay? As well as other development within my ward. Also, Dan. Dan, I cannot think of your last name. Taylor. Don Taylor. I held many a 4th Ward meetings at the Salvation Army, and this was the gentleman that opened up the door. I don't know why I forgot your name, but he has been with me for the long haul. And I would just like for you to give my guest a nice round of applause for them supporting me through all of this time. Oh, I had one more person that was here. She had to leave. She is my soror, and her name is Barbara Martin, but she had some other engagement that she had to attend, but she said, I'm coming. I said, okay, sis, I know you are. And a little bit of information about Barbara Martin. When I pledged, she gave me hell. And, but when I went over, I found out she was the kindest individual there was, and she's been a sister to me in more than one ways. Like I said, she gave me hell when I was pledging, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. And I think, have I gotten everyone? If I haven't, owe it to my mind and not my heart. Because these days, this mind has been doing some things on its own. The older I get, but that's okay. It's all good. I'm still here to see another day and to fight another.